Ooh, our
Or what?
After Forever was our 16th episode, so happy Sweet 16. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and as always, I'm joined by Aaron.
Hello, everyone.
Today, we're going to be covering the Amazon Prime web series After Forever, which starred Kevin Spiritus, who we know as Craig Wesley from Days of Our Lives. So we already had an affection for him.
And it grew after watching this.
This is the first time both of us have watched this, and I just finished it, and I'm not okay.
Oh no. It like grabbed my heart, ripped it out, put it back, and then ripped it out again. I was so emotional during all 8 episodes. It hit kind of close to home, not the stomach cancer or anything, but losing someone. Oh my gosh, I was not ready for it.
I knew that was the premise because it's in the title, After Forever. And I read about it. I read that it was about a gay couple and one of them dies. And
see, I didn't know any of that. I just went into, you said, hey, watch this, or have you seen it? I went, no.
I didn't give you any background.
I didn't have no background, no nothing. So I was like, okay, Craig's in it. I mean, that's not his name, but that's what I'm calling him. I'm like, and I'm very like, whoo, Craig. So I was like, sure, I'll tune in for this. And then started watching it. The first episode, I was like,
good.
Tommy said he died, but do we see him die? And then like it was just all an illusion, like just our flashbacks and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, no, I'm not ready for this. Because I mean, you've been there, I've been there. We both lost someone really close to us before. And I saw so many similarities between me and him that I was like, this is hitting close to home. And I don't know that I'm ready to feel these emotions yet.
Yes, it definitely felt like it opened some old wounds.
And I laugh when I'm like kind of uncomfortable, but it opened some very uncomfortable wounds. So that's why I'm like extra giddy.
Sorry.
I remember after watch, I was like, why, Tommy? No. But I did love it. I loved it. Was a great.
I didn't expect to love it as much as I did.
I didn't either.
Emmy well deserved.
Yeah, I was looking through stuff like, okay, it's won all these awards. This shouldn't be another Winter Thorn.
Be nice.
I mean, I loved Winter Thorn. The people in it, I loved it. Things I would have fixed. But this, I was like, okay, it deserved each and every one of those awards.
The episodes were short. They were on average between 8 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, it was almost like just watching a movie.
It was like watching a movie, yeah. I like the way it was shot.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't low budget. It was in New York.
Oh,
yeah. It opened some old wounds.
Which mild wounds had nothing to do with stomach cancer, like nothing like that. Just the
just
grief
like
aspect of it.
Yeah, the grieving process and what you go through
after.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't know that I was still holding on to some of that.
As the series was going on, like when his friends was telling him, you need to get back out there and all this, and I remember having conversations like that with myself, like, oh my, like, no, I can't. I'm just not ready for that. Like, because losing someone is hard enough, but to me, the second part that's really just hard is when you realize you have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I could feel everything. What was his name? Brian? Was it Brian?
Brian and the husband
that died was Jason. Okay. I was just like, oh my God, I feel for you, Brian. I wanted to tell his friend, shut up. Just let him do things on his own for just a little bit. Yeah, it's been a year, but there's not timeline for grief.
That is very true. Yeah, I don't really know what to say because I just finished it and I'm still shook.
Yeah, I got to process a little bit of it.
The last episode made me cry twice. But let's not jump to the end. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. So, the beginning, they have that kind of like, you can tell they were so in love. I think that's what made it harder, was just how much they were just in love.
I like that they showed their relationship and then they kind of flash forward, I guess, to the present and showed that it was kind of him imagining what he would be saying to him in the present day, I guess. It's hard to describe.
No, I mean, I don't know about you because everybody's process of grief is different, but I remember having conversations like that with myself, or like in his office or his house, how he kept everything the same. I did things like that too, because I remember going, okay, the last time this person was here, this is how it looked. And the more things I made that process through just, moving on through life, it was like I was getting more disconnected. I didn't think I would relate to Brian as much as I did, but even with the little stupid Hello Kitty thing that Jason gave him and he hated it, like I've had stuff like that before, and the only reason it's special is because of who gave it to me.
I could see the situation pertaining more to you, or you being able to relate to more of it than I did, because you were married and you lived with the person. I didn't.
This is turning into who knew after forever would turn into a therapy session. Should I pay you afterwards? Like, here, Tommy.
It's free therapy. So now I'm extra sorry because you can relate to all the situations he was going through. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Oh no. I'm so glad I got to see it, because we don't deal with grief enough on television or in things like that. You kind of just get that romanticized of it where, someone comes in and saves the day and everything's good after an hour and a half, but that's not how it goes. So I like seeing this.
I'm going to go on a slight tangent, but I promise it's relevant and I'm going to bring it back.
I'm ready.
So as far as gay representation goes, I'm kind of sick of coming out stories.
Oh,
I just feel like they've been told over and over, and they should be told. It shouldn't stop. But coming out stories and losing somebody to AIDS is not our only stories. And I like that this was different.
Yes.
It showed that we deal with grief, we lose loved ones, we have friends, we have careers. It was just nice, which actually shows why representation is important.
They did a great job representing all different kinds of, the gay spectrum in some sense. They weren't all flamboyant or over masculine.
He lost his husband, which isn't a gay issue, it's a human issue. Anybody could relate to that, losing their spouse, partner, loved one. So that's what I really liked. And it was just the fact that it was a gay couple, you kind of feel more seen and you feel like, oh, I went through that, or I could go through that. Clearly we went through that.
Well, as I was watching it, and the more they were telling about how he died and everything, I picked up my phone. I just texted John, who's, my fiance. I was like, I love you. Like, I had something inside. I was like, just tell John you love him, because you never know what's going to happen.
He doesn't even know. He probably just like, oh, love you too.
He doesn't realize. He'll hear about it later. He doesn't understand how much that love you was just like really deep.
The trauma that you went through today.
I know. I felt all the emotions.
Did you notice the guy from Ugly Betty was in it?
Yes, and I was wondering, why is he just such a small part? Like, they kind of did a little psych out, that thinking, maybe they're gonna.
I wondered that. I was like, I wonder if there's gonna be a flirtation, like.
But then I'm like, well, that becomes an HR issue. So. I did like him popping up.
Yeah. he pops up in things randomly since Ugly Betty.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was recurring on Younger for a few seasons. And now this.
Mm-hmm.
He used to do like movie nights or whatever, hosting for Logo.
Oh, see, I never, because I live in the South, I didn't get Logo till like right before, like, and this is how season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So 2010, I think, is when I finally got a taste of Logo
That was only
in the
like a year
South.
after I had it.
Okay, so
Yeah, not that old.
no, actually, no, it was like season 4 because I watched RuPaul's Drag Race season 1, 2, or maybe 5. I remember watching, my mom and I would watch RuPaul's Drag Race on VH1 the day after it aired because that we didn't have Logo and VH1 played
Oh, I
it.
didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, or well, here that's how it worked, So,
Hmm.
but back to After Forever.
um, yeah, it was very interesting showing how the friends were dealing with it because they were close knit
They were
family
almost,
actually,
they were. I was about to say they're a family.
and it was sweet that his in-laws wanted him to move on, and they actually set
Did
him
you
up.
not almost break down when he's listening to his husband say, "Don't let Brian know I'm asking you to do this"? I was like,
Okay,
"Oh
yes,
my god!"
there were sad moments, but yeah, that got me. That was when
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I'm not okay.
Oh, and just so everyone knows, if I'm laughing, it's just I deal with grief very differently, so I giggle a lot. But I'm not making fun of anything or
it's
anything
a
like that.
it's a nervous laugh.
Yes, it's very nervous. I will say there was when he met that one guy on the bike, I was like, oh, okay, maybe cool. And
I
then
wasn't feeling that situation. I don't know. Maybe I was still like, you're not ready to move on.
the first moment he got that text that said, "Hey, sexy, you want?" I mean, we've all sent that text. "Hey, sexy, you want to come over?" And we've all got that response. Can't tonight. So I was like, he's he's cheating on you. He's cheating. Like then come out, he's in an open relationship.
I don't think I thought he cheated. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess
I
just
knew
my
he was up to
mind was,
something. I just
I
didn't.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, I knew he was having sex with someone that wasn't Brian.
How awkward was it at the restaurant when his boyfriend showed up?
That's some stuff I would walk into. I'd be like, oh, look,
And then
it's
he's like, how do you
so-and-so.
know, Ron? And he's like, I fucked him while you were in China.
And his best friend's like, oh, I I want to see more of the best friend. I loved her because she
the
wasn't
the
that.
one that sang.
Yeah, because she wasn't that stereotypical gay best friend.
Hmm.
She just a friend.
Hmm. His work wife was the gay best friend.
Yeah,
But it was nice. It
yeah.
was
It
cute
was.
when they were like walking after the incident at the restaurant. Deanna and I don't. My friend Deanna and I don't work together, but it kind of reminded me of me and like Deanna,
Yeah.
like the way we kind of talk to each other.
See, I had a work husband at my old job, and we would kind of walk and just talk like that because he had went through a thing with his spouse and that he divorced, and we had similar issues, but not the same. But we would just walk and talk, and I was like, he just slowly became a work husband.
um, so I'm like halfway through the last episode, and I'm like, I'm not gonna break it down. It's fine. Because you
They
were like
saved it for the
episode 7
final
and 8 will
moment.
get you, and I was like, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. And then when they showed him die, I was like, I'm not fine. I'm not.
Anytime there's any scene, and maybe it's just me, as soon as they're like, it's okay, you can let go, I'm like a mess. I can't handle it. I'm like,
It didn't help that his parents were there because I felt bad
oh,
for them too.
and then when he was recalling their first date,
Yeah, and he was already gone.
that got, yep.
Yep,
I,
that got me. And then the last scene got me. where he was on the blind date with the guy that his in-law set him up with, and he just kind of looked at his illusion of Jason, kind of like, okay, I'm ready to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just
I
like,
was like,
yeah, I wasn't prepared for this series. I wasn't prepared.
So out of
But
10
it did
stars,
remind,
what do you give it?
oh, it's a 10. It is a 10, 10, 10. My attraction to Craig has increased. I need him back on days, or I need him to have some kind of show where I can watch him weekly. I didn't know I felt that strongly about him until I watched the show.
Well, there's a season 2,
I know.
but I don't understand why it's not free on Prime. Because I thought it was a Prime original.
Yeah, when you told me that, I went to Prime and went, and then went, it ain't free. It's like season 2 ain't free either. Tommy told me this was free. And then it wasn't. That happened a lot today. Ladies of the Lake is no longer free either on Amazon Prime.
Oh, but it's there?
Yeah, you can buy it.
Why are they not free?
I guess
if they're Prime originals, they should be included.
I don't think they're Prime originals though. I think
Ladies
it's
of the
one,
Lake is.
I think it's one of those things where they purchase the rights and they say it's an original, so they have original content, but they didn't have anything to do with making it.
Maybe because Ladies of the Lake, it was released on Prime. Like the
oh, okay. Well, then maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not unheard of.
Like the Bay, I haven't looked at it in a while, but that should be free also. What do I know?
No, it's not.
The Bay?
A couple seasons I think are, but I can't watch season 1 because I was going to watch it like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, that used to be free because I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons free.
Oh, but back to After Forever. I want to know what was your rating of it?
10.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't think that it being the episodes being so short was going to be enough, and the fact that it was only 8 episodes was going to be enough to cover, like, to do the story justice. But it actually did, and it was actually kind of the perfect amount of time. It's like you said, it was like a movie almost.
I love the little beginning of their episodes where they're just kind of like the little intro. I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah, like the little, it almost looked like a home video.
Yeah.
Of their
I thought that was sweet. Yeah.
That was sweet.
So but, I highly recommend, if you haven't seen this series, to watch it. It is on YouTube. If you are dealing with grief, you might, warning, you may need to talk to a therapist afterwards.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think casting was great. Storyline was great. Cinematography was great.
I am very interested to see.
No complaints.
I'm very interested to see what happens in season 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I am too.
And I'm wondering if there's going to be a season 3, because when I was trying to find season 2, things about season 3 kept popping up, but I ignored them because
it's like I don't want to know. I can't know.
I was trying to stay focused.
Like, yeah, because we get off track really easy. Next thing you know, you can tell me what happens at the end.
But yeah, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Everybody should check it out. Bring a box of tissues with you. Mm-hmm. If you plan on watching the whole thing.
The crying and Craig, I'm just gonna call him Craig because it's easier for me. Like having him there made it a little better because he's, really great actor. I really like him. Mm-hmm. So I also wondered, like, if I hadn't been so connected to this series, would I have loved it as much as I did? I want to say I would, but it's when you connect to something, you kind of love it even more than you probably typically would.
Yeah, between Kevin Spiritus and the subject matter, I feel like we didn't have a choice but to love it.
There was no stopping it. It was like, you're gonna love me. It's like,
Like, it
love
was
me, Dad.
definitely in our wheelhouse.
It's kind of actually the first thing we've watched that is LGBTQ themed, isn't it? Like straight
Yes,
on.
which is
Yeah.
also why I wanted to watch it, because I knew it was about a gay couple and
Mhm.
I wanted to cover something.
We wanted to cover the queer part of Queers and
If you're
Soaps.
part of Queers and Soaps.
Because well, I mean,
I'm really glad we did watch it.
we're fortunate enough to live in a time when we have that. Like
The content, yeah.
Yeah, we 10 years ago, queers as folk was really kind of what we had, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I like seeing. I hate that it has to be done in like a web series sense. I wish it could be a little bit more mainstream so that it'd be out there a little bit more. But I'll take what I can get. And Craig, I need more. If you're if you're listening, because we know you listen to the show. We want more.
You know you want more Emmys.
Yeah, give him
and you
all
deserve
the
them all.
yes, he did. Because I was feeling that emotion. And there's sometimes people win Emmys, and I'm like, you want an Emmy for that? Really? I didn't. Okay. Like, all right. But then it's like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Award winning. That's what you call award winning.
But all right, guys, be sure to check us out every Monday and sometimes throughout the week. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.